Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Me Sada Yenakshara Samamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Pararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagartha Samprikto Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwaro Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Welcome back, everyone. So we are, we'll chant our Maheshwara Sutra and then we'll continue on. Om A-I Un Rilik E-Ong I-Ouch Haya Varat Lan Nyama Nama Jabhanya Ghadadash Jabagadadash Kapha Chatata Chatatav Kapai Shashasar Al Iti Maheshwarani Sutrani. When we've been looking at Kṛdanta for some time now. We're coming near the end here. So we've been looking at these bhave and other karakas. So for short, the bhave section, but of course they can be connected to any other karaka as well. We've seen lute, now we're seeing gun, and then probably not today, maybe the next time we'll see ktin. So we'll spend more time on gun, page 87 in the book. And what we saw last time also, besides gun, we saw this idea of when vriddhi and guna can take place based on the it letters of the pratyay. So we spent some time there. If you need a refresher, just remember that we did do that last time. You can see the recording there. And we'll also see this in a moment. Okay. But we were looking at gun. Gun denotes the bhava, the action itself, and any other karaka other than the karta. So it can point to any of the other karakas and bhave. The content is just akara, meaning that ghakara and nakara are both it letters. This nakara is, remember we saw this letter or murdhanya nakara can cause vriddhi in the anga. So it's nit, right? And because of that, it can cause vriddhi in the anga. So vriddhi, do we have that here? I don't have that chart here. Okay. So it causes guna and it causes vriddhi in the anga because of this nit. But that only happens when we, so let me show you this. So vriddhi can take place when the pratyaya is nit or nit, at the last ik, if the dhatu ends with I, U, R, L, or the penultimate short akara if the dhatu has one. Right? So the last ik, if the dhatu ends with ik, or at the second to last letter, if it's short akara, then that can take vriddhi. If this doesn't happen, then guna can take place regardless of the it letter. Right? Guna can take place. So vriddhi does not happen, guna is there at the last ik or at the penultimate short ik if the dhatu has it. Okay, so coming back, it can cause vriddhi, but if vriddhi can't happen, guna can happen. So guna and vriddhi can take place. You just have to see the context there. All gun ending words become punlinga. One of the words being rama, right? That is ram dhatu plus gun become rama. Yeah, so that says it here. So it's ending punlinga. Okay, we'll see more about the Vigraha Vakya. We can come back to this in a moment. We're going to do some exercises with that. So Hariprasad ji, you have a question there?
Yes, Mahodaya. Namaste. The question is this, that except Murdanya Nakara and Nyakara, any pratyaya, there are many pratyayas are there. So all of them will result in a guna letter? Except those two with
except those two.
Yes. Any other various pratyayas, if I add, will it result?
If there is a last ik, or if there's a penultimate short ik. Sometimes we don't have either of those, so then you would not get guna either.
Okay.
So I want to say yes. I'm having some pause because I'm cautious to say that it'll happen for all of them.
Okay.
But it does, yes, we can assume that it will happen if it's not nit or nit.
Okay. Dhanyawada.
There's always so many exceptions, so I get I'm cautious to say it always, but most of the time, yes, it does happen. That guna will happen if the vriddhi does not happen. Okay, so oops, sorry. Okay, let's look at some examples, and we're going to let's just spend one more. I know we did this last time. Let's look at the Vigraha Vakya one more time because we're going to do this in the exercise as we start. So let's look at this one more time. So okay, in bhave. So if the gun is used in the sense of bhave, meaning in the sense of the action itself, other Kṛdanta words which also indicate bhava will also be used as an explanation. Okay, so for example, we're making the gun ending word pataha. Pataha, which means study or reading, a reading or a study is pataha. Now, I can use another word. I can use another pratyaya that is bhave to indicate this. So this is pat plus lyut, which becomes ana. Lut becomes ana. So pat, ana, patana, patanam, iti pataha. So both words are made up of pat with bhava, artha, krit, pratyayas. The meaning of both words is study. So I can say, how do you say that this is in the sense of bhave? You just use another bhave pratyaya. So patanam iti pataha. So you'll know that this can be in the sense of bhava. Okay, now let's say it can be other things, right? So in karmani, a tinganta word in karmani prayoga. So a karmani tinganta or other Kṛdanta words which indicate the karma will be used. So for example, a karmani tinganta, we say, we're going to make, we have this gun ending word, lokaha. I can say, lokyate iti lokaha, right? It's a karmani, you see the yakara and you see the atmane pada. It's a verb, right? Lokyate iti lokaha. What is experienced is lokaha. So this is karmani, and this, it'll indicate that we're using this word lokaha in karmani. Lokaha can be, that derivation could be meaning other things, but here we know that it's karmani because we're showing this karmani verb, right? So this is karmani vyutpattihi. In karane, a tinganta word will be used with anena or yena, which is a third case ending word of idam. Idam, third case is anena. Yad, third case is yena in masculine. So it's used to show that the word is being used as an instrument. So for example, patyate, anena, you see anena, third case, patyate, so I have my tinganta, now I have anena, iti pataha. See, pataha can be other things. I said patanam iti pataha. But here I want to say that it's karane. So I say patyate anena iti pataha. That by which a thing is read. This means that by which a thing is read is pataha. Right? Anena means by this. Patyate means is read. By this is read. By which a thing is read. Right? If we extrapolate, is pataha. This is karane vyutpatti. So you see how it might be helpful to know the vyutpatti when we see a word, because it could mean a different thing. Okay? Because that by which, that by which a thing is read is different than the word just study, which is also pata. Okay? In apadane, asmat or yasmat can be used. Those words can be used with the tinganta. This is apadane vyutpatti. See, these are in fifth case. Apadane, in apadane pancham. So for example, aharanti rasam yasmat iti aharaha. So we're making the word aharaha. Tr dhatu a, tr plus ghan becomes ahar, ahara. One is aharaha. I use a verb and I use a asmat or yasmat. This word is additional for this context, but aharanti yasmat iti aharaha. If we just said that much, it would be fine. But the author wants to say from which, yasmat, from which people take the essence. Aharanti means people take. People take what? Rasam, the essence is ahara. Food. Finally means food. That from which people take essence or nutrients. In Adhikarane, asmin yasmin would be used with the tinganta. So ramante asmin iti ramaha. So you see asmin, seventh case, or yasmin can be used. That in which ramante, people revel, iti ramaha is the meaning of ramaha in this context. It's adhikarane vyutpatti. So this is how we derive Ramaha, by the way. Ramante asmin iti Ramaha. Adhikarane vipatti. Okay, so this was a little fast, but we're going to do this, a lot of examples like this. Any questions before we move on?
I have a question about the very first one.
Yeah.
Patanam iti pataha. Now, all others are related to other karakas, the second case, the third case, and the fifth case, and the seventh case. Now, patanam, that is a patanam, it could be 2-1, iti pataha, correct? Is it a?
It could be, because it's.
Or it could be 1-1-2.
It could be 1-1, it could be 2-1, because it's Napumsaka Linga.
Right. So what is the vyutpatti of this? It's everywhere else we are saying karmani utpatti, karane vyutpatti, apadane vyutpatti.
Yeah. So this is bhave vyutpatti. So it's just the sense of the action itself. Now, patanam can mean other things also, but they're showing here's the style of how they do it. If you want to say something in bhave, you use a word that is generally used in bhave. So patanam is generally, it means study. That lut has the bhave sense. It could mean other things as well, but this is how the style is, that they'll use another bhave word. Another suffix that can be in the sense of bhave. Does that make sense?
Yes. And I'm wondering, if I'm understanding it correctly, that I understood. When you write the word patha, then depending on the context, it could be in the bhave sense, or it could be in the karmani vyutpatti, or it can be in the karane vyutpatti, correct?
It could be. Patha itself can be in any sense.
Any sense, yeah. Correct. That's when you need to understand the rest of the sentence to get the meaning of this word.
Yeah, and that's why we say the sampradaya is really important, the teaching lineage, because each of these words in the Bhagavad Gita or Upanishad can mean so many different things. And so we need the lineage to be able to tell us, okay, what does this word exactly mean in this context? So that's why so I don't do it so much because so if it was just us in the Vedanta class, I would do a lot more Vigraha Vakya. If you go to a more advanced Vedanta class where everyone is learning Sanskrit, then you'll hear these phrases throughout the class. Patanamiti pataha, or like they'll explain each word, what is the derivation, not each word, but a lot of the words, they'll really show what is the derivation. The commentaries, sometimes Shankaracharya will tell you what is the derivation, right? Now, because most people, that would be too out of context, I don't spend the time doing that, but it's very useful because we don't get the exact meaning a lot of the time. Okay. So let's do some exercises. So I'm going to pull up the exercise. This is the answer guide that I've sent over email. And we're going to go through this. Let's look at the instructions first, okay? So this is exercise 1. Give the information on vyutpatti of the following ghan ending words according to the meanings given in English. Answer in the format of the example. So let's look at the example. The vyutpatti of lokaha is analyzed as follows. This is a Kṛdanta word. Dhatu is lok, to experience. The Krit pratyaya is ghan. From the translation, the suffix is so the translation of number 1, it says object of experience. So from the translation of the suffix, it's understood to be denoting the karma, right? Object of lok, to experience. Thus, this is karmani vyutpattihi. Vigraha vakya will be lokyate iti lokaha. You see, karmani vyutpatti. So I'm going to have a karmani verb. Okay, we're going to do some more of these together. Maybe not as exhaustive as that one example is, but we'll see it. Okay, so bhogaha. Bhogaha, object of enjoyment. Okay. Now, you have to go backwards. So we know that this is a Kṛdanta. This is a Ghañ ending word. The dhatu can be, if you just off the top of your head, you may think bhug, right? Because you're going to get guna. So u become o. That could be a guess, but there's a little bit of sandhi that takes place. The dhatu is, the dhatu is bhuj dhatu. Bhuj dhatu. Bhuj dhatu means to enjoy, right? Plus ghañ, we saw that. Now, object of enjoyment, is this kartari, karmani, karane, sampradane, apadane? So give me a finger. Which one do you think it is? Object of enjoyment. So I would, right? Karmani. This is a karmani. I know the fingers don't really help communicate very much, but karmani, right? This is karma vyutpattihi. Karma vyutpatti. Okay, so now I'm going to make this bhuj with as a karmani verb. So I'm going to add a yakara and atmanepada. So bhujyate iti, bhujyate iti bhogaha is the derivation of this word, right? So we're explaining this word. Okay, Harprasad ji?
Yes, Mahodaya.
Yeah.
Here, are we assuming it is ghañ?
Yeah, in this context, because we're practicing ghañ, we're going to assume it's ghañ. Correct.
Okay.
But if you see a akaranta masculine word, a lot of times you can assume it's ghañ.
Yeah, like Rama. Yeah, you said most of the Pullinga words. I mean, all Pullinga words.
Not all Pullinga, a lot of them are.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Here, really, we're assuming here. Then there is no way to determine Bhogaha is ghañ.
Yeah. So we're seeing that it's masculine. We're seeing it's right akaranta masculine, and so we're going backwards from there. We're assuming it's ghañ. Well, this is the only way to make bhoga is to use ghañ. You can't make it any other way to have this meaning. Okay. Pataha. So pataha, we've seen this as well. Pataha. What's the dhatu of pataha? Pat. Right. Pat. Then vriddhi happens on the penultimate akara. So it becomes pata. And the one is pataha. So pat plus ghañ. Now, this word, pataha, pat means to read or to study, right? And so pataha in the ghañ sense, in the bhave sense, is a text or a study. Or is a not text, sorry. Is the study itself or the reading, the book itself, what I'm reading. Now this is a text of a book. It's the object of reading, what I'm reading. So she's saying it's karma vyutpattihi. I feel like I messed that up. What I was trying to say is pataha means reading, right? To read. Pat means to read or to study. So the study or read or what you are, or the reading itself is pat. Now we're saying the object of reading, the text that you're reading is pata. So it's karma vyutpatti. They're saying that the text of the book. Okay, is that more clear that time? Okay. So I'm going to say karma vyutpatti, we know it's going to look like this. We're going to have a karmani verb. So patyate iti pataha. Okay. Let's do one more, and then we'll go to some full sentences before we continue on. Pataha, again, same word, but now here it means the method of reading or the method of reciting. The way in which we are reciting. The method. Okay, now this is tricky. We know it's pat plus gun, right? That much we've seen. But which vyutpatti do you think it is? You can unmute yourself. You can write it in the chat.
Third, karane vyutpatti.
Karane vyutpatti, exactly. So it is karane vyutpatti. Karana vyutpattihi. It's the instrument is the way in which you are doing it. It's the method. Karana vyutpattihi. So now if we're doing karana vyutpatti, we're going to use the third case of idam with the verb. So we have patyate
Anena.
Anena, exactly. Patyate anena iti pataha. Patyate anena iti pataha. Okay. Anena, or you can use yena. Yad or idam. Patyate anena iti pataha. Okay, quickly, I'm just going to do these very quickly because I want to do at least one sentence. Vibhagaha. Vibhaga. So we have V, bhaj, vibhaj plus ghan. Oops. Vibhaj plus ghan. Vibhaj becomes vibhaj, and then the jakara becomes gakara. Vibhaga. The 1 vibhagaha. Now, it's that by which something is divided. Again, by which. You see this? You see it's a sense of karane, right? Karana vyutpattihi. Karana vyutpattihi. So same way, I'm going to say vibhajyate. Again, anena iti vibhagaha. Okay, let's do arama. Can't do all of them. So aramaha, I want to show you one more karaka. That in which people take rest. In which. Okay, So first of all, aramaha. We know ramaha, right? Ram plus gan. So now we're just adding an upasarga aram gan. Aram gan becomes aramaha. Now this in which a place, what does that tell you?
Adhikarane.
Adhikarane vyutpatti, exactly. So this is adhikarana vyutpattihi. We say asmin or yasmin with the verb, right? So aramanti, you don't need to do it in karmani vyutpatti or karmani prayoga. Aramanti asmin iti aramaha. That in which people play or people rest. Aramanti.
Why did we use plural here? Why not aramati?
We could have used either. I think they were saying that multiple people can. So you can do either. You can use either. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do some of the full sentences because we have a few minutes. Okay, let's look at this first sentence here. We're going to learn some things about how these sentences work. Okay. Tatvasya bodha. Okay, so read it with me as if you're a scholar. Okay. Tatvasya bodha upadishyate. Okay, say it again. Tatvasya bodha upadishyate. Okay, we pick up our verb as always, and then we pick up our Kṛdanta afterwards. I'm going to underline the verb in red. You can guess the verb. Senior students by now, right? So upadishyate, that's pretty easy. Upadishyate. Okay. Now upadishyate, we don't know any dhatu is upadish. We know probably it can be dish dhatu, upasarga. Right? So upadish plus, you see, yakana, atmanepada. So karmani, lat lakara, karmani prayoga, prathama purusha, ekavachana. Okay, now we have to find our Kṛdanta. Okay, tatvasya bodha upadishyate. Okay, I can see you saying it. Bodha is our Ghañ ending word. Bodha, okay, you see there's a vriddhi letter there, O. So if you go backwards from vriddhi, it becomes O. Right? So penultimate ik becomes vriddhi. So bud becomes bodh. So this is bud plus Ghañ. Now, upadishyate means, upadish means to teach, but karmani is taught. Okay. Bodha is taught. Have you heard this word, bodha? Yeah, tattva bodha, right? This tattvasya bodha. This is what they're saying, tattva bodha. Okay, bodha means, right, knowledge. The knowledge is taught. If it's knowledge, what is the vyutpattihi? Bud means to know. So knowledge is bhava vyutpatti. Bud itself means, karma vyutpatti. Interesting. Hold on, let me think about this. Buddh means to know. We can say, okay, yeah. So here's what she's trying to say. The Buddh, you can say knowledge is taught, right? You can say that's fine. But what the intention of the speaker is not the text itself. Or it's not knowing itself. It's what is known. It's the object of knowing. Right? It's the what is known. So it's the karma vyutpattihi is how the intention of the speaker here. Right? This word bodha can be bhave in other contexts. Right? So karma vyutpattihi or bhava vyutpatti, right? So it can be either one. It just depends on the intention of the speaker. Are you talking about the object of knowing or knowing itself? So it depends on how the speaker is taking it. So now if we're making the Vigraha Vakya, Bodh, so we'll take Buddh. If we're taking, let's just say take Bhava Vyutpatti. So if it's Bhava Vyutpatti, we would something use like Lut. So say Bodhana, something like that. But if we're saying Karma Vyutpatti, then we would say Buddhyate iti bodhaha. Right? Buddhyate iti bodhaha. You would take it in the karmani, the dhatu in karmani, lat lakara. Buddhyate iti bodha. Okay, so what does that? So this word, bodhaha, means knowledge or the object of knowledge, Brahman. Okay? So let's just say the knowledge is taught. Okay? Knowledge is taught. So this is what case? Bodhaha. This is 1-1, like Rama. Now, this is connected to the verb upadishyate. What kind of prathama is this? This is karmani prathama to upadishyate. What is taught? The knowledge is taught. Okay, so even if this is bhava vyutpattihi, it's going to be karmani to upadishyate. Isn't that tricky? So the knowledge is taught. Knowledge of what? Tattvasya. Tattvasya. So now, we've seen this before. I can have a 6th case, and the 6th case can be the object of the Kṛdanta word. You can have karmani shashti. Here we have that example. We have karmani shashti to bodhaha. So this isn't connected to upadishyate. This is connected to bodhaha. What is known, or what is the knowing of? What is the object of knowledge? It's tattvasya. So tattvasya bodhaha upadishyati. The knowledge of truth is taught. Okay. We'll pick up here next class. We're a little bit over time. We'll pick up here. We're going to do some more examples and we'll go on to the next pratyaya if we have time. But I think we'll spend some time with this. Can you give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs to the side where we're at right now? Feeling with this? Okay. Okay. All right. That's helpful to know. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Rabbi Namaha. Hari Om.